Hey guys, just figured I'd put a little video on here of some of the cases that I got. I've been collecting for, oh boy, probably 12 to 13 years or so, give or take a little bit. And these are just some of the cases that I've put together. And I mean, you got a bunch of pottery shards or whatever you want to call them. A couple of earlier finds that I found. This one right here, someone was wanting me to do a cleanup on it, so I'll go ahead and pull that out and show you that. This was the first point that I found over 3 inches. And as you can see, it is just 100% perfect. Needle tip. Nice and thin. Boy, I freaked out when I found that. If you've seen my video, I'm sure you would understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's the first piece that I found over 3 inches. Just recently topped it with this Cobb's or Dalton Sloan. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's got some grinding on that base. It's 5 inches exactly. The other one's like 4 and 5/8 or something like that, I think. But this one beats it a little bit. This is now the longest point that I have to date. Found it on a gravel bar. And it's a pretty good one. But one of several. This one right here, if you watched the video, I freaked out on that one too. It's a worthy freak out though, I'd say. That's, I mean, just super fine. Try to get close up here. I'm using my phone as a camera, so it doesn't do too well in the low light. But yeah, that thing is pretty killer. Found it over by a cave. I had a guy who gave me permission to dig on his property, and was digging up underneath the cave, pulled it out, and just came out in like a clump of dirt. But yeah, that was a good day. This piece right here, I found in 2 pieces. I glued it together, as you can see right there. I found the tip first, and was just kind of scraping some leaves a little bit to the left of it, and just, oh, I'd say probably 5 or 6 inches at the most. The base was laying there, and it went together perfectly. So that turned out to be a pretty good blade. Let's see here. I got a video of this one posted. That's a pretty good one. I found that in a gravel bar. Same spot I found that one. Just not up by the ridge. He's digging a lake out there, and so he uncovers a lot of stuff. It was a big camp or big trading post at one point. Probably for thousands of years, as many arrowheads as there are out there. Anyway, let me go ahead and put those up. This case right here is my latest case. It's the one that I've put together for, 2016 and 2017, pretty much. There's a couple odd pieces in there that were from a while back, but open this one up here. I got much room. Alright. I'll grab this one. Oh, about fell over. Alright, this one right here. It's pretty special. If I can get it to focus here. There it goes. I found this in a site where I find a lot of calf creeks. I mean, there's calf creeks all over this site. And I think it was probably, I'd say it was probably from right around the Calf Creek era, where they were just practicing them notchings. Looks like a point. You know, there's the base right there. There's the ear. And this ear is worked down, but I think they just took a point. If you could see the tip of it's busted. So I'd say they probably went up to a tip, you know, point end. But yeah, I'd say they just took a point and were practicing on it. Could have been a kid. Who knows? But it's a pretty cool piece. I'm pretty happy with it. You don't find stuff like that too often. I got a couple of them that I found over the years, but nothing quite like that. Let's see, this drill right here. I found this walking down the creek. It was just about to fall into the water. I saved it from being lost forever. It's a good one though. A nice little, I guess they call it paddle drill or something, but it's over 3 inches. So that makes it really good in my book. Drills are awesome, but the long drills are even better. Alright, this one right here. I don't know, you tell me what this is. I'm obviously going to say Dalton, but I could be wrong. If you look at that tip, it might be hard to see with the camera, but it's got just the craziest little twist to it. Little bevel. And the only thing that makes me doubt possibly that it's not a Dalton, that it's a Dalton, is that it doesn't have a ground base. So if there's any other styles out there that anybody knows, you might chime in on that one, because that's an interesting piece. Oh, jeez. Now there's, you know, some Calf Creek bases and stuff that I've pulled out of that site, the same site that I've, you know, got that exotic or eccentric or whatever. So yeah, it produces some good points. I'd say the majority of the points in there are from that site. It's just kind of mixed. I got several places that I go. Dalton drill right there. Next to what kind of looks like a Cahokia. I'm not sure if that's a Cahokia or what, but it's got the side notching way up where that base is really big and rectangular, so I don't know, it looks like it could be a Cahokia. I found Cahokias in this area before. Let's see, where's it at? There it is, right there. Look at that beauty. And I'll pull that one out here for you guys and give you a closer look at that. It's about the best bird point I pulled off this site that I found it on. It is just missing a little off the tip. I mean, just a tiny little, yeah, just a sliver. But it's a 5-notch Cahokia. And it's sweet. Nice and thin. Man, I wish this camera would focus a little better for you guys. There we go. It's a good one. Alright. Pull out a couple more noteworthy points here. It's a pretty nice little oval blade that I found digging underneath the cave. It's nice and thin. Crazy thing about this is it's ground all the way along that side to about right there. That whole entire blade edge is ground heavily. I mean, there's no doubting. It's heavily ground. But this side's nice and sharp. So, I bet you can guess what side was used to cut, right? It's a nice one, though. It's like once I found my first piece over 3 inches, they just started flowing. I got that, which I'm not quite sure if that's an, I don't know, I want to say Italy, but I could be way off. It's kind of similar to that one piece right there. And I think that might be a pine tree right there. But I'm not sure. Chime in on that one if you want. This piece right here was about my most recent piece. Found this just a few weeks ago. May have found one or two others since then, but this right here is just perfect. Beautiful Adina or Dixon. Nice and thin, all there. That thing is sharp. Sorry for the shaky camera. Here's a nice little bird point that I found, one of my better ones. It's a sweet one. I like how that tip just goes to nothing. This right here, I'll show this one. This thing right here, it's got a, the base that's been snapped off of it. I'm gonna come right out and say my theory on the whole snapped base thing. I don't agree with it. I think it's just a piece that was hafted up and ended up getting too much, pressure at the point where it was hafted and just snapped off. But I'm sure they would have used it nonetheless. But this thing I found sticking outside, or sticking out of a mud bank, walking the creek. And I thought it was a flake at first, just how thin it is. Wait till I flip this to the side. This is, if you ever heard of the Sweetwater biface, this maybe not quite as thin, but it is just about that thin. It's about the most paper thin artifact that I've found ever. And it's about an inch and maybe a quarter wide. I don't know, maybe a little less, but it is one of the best worked points. I mean, just look at that flaking. Both sides flat. Most of the points you find, they'll have a flat side and then they'll have a little more rounded side. And some are more pronounced than others as far as that goes, but it's rare to find one that is just flat on both sides with the perfect flaking that goes all the way to the center. And just, that was a master. That was a master. Too bad the base is busted off of it, though. It was a good one. Alright, I'll close that case up. This one right here is a good noteworthy piece. I found this snorkeling. Yeah, it went under and it was like right in my face. Like, whoa. Okay. I got a GoPro that I can actually film underwater, so one of these days I'm going to have to take that out and do a little underwater filming as I'm snorkeling, because I got a nice spot where the pieces are just falling into the water left and right, and they just get trapped right up in this little, I don't know, rock trap. You know, it's like a natural rock trap. Traps them all up in there, and you can just go take shovel scoops, pull them up off the bottom of the creek in handfuls. It's nuts. But anyway, that's a snorkeling find. Heck of a good one at that. Here's a good case. This is, I don't know. I've put together a lot of pretty good cases, but this case right here just kind of is one of my favorites. Maybe it's because it's got some of my best artifacts. At least a couple of them anyways. Alright. Of course I'll start out with this one here. Rearrange some stuff here. Alright, this is the first eccentric or effigy. I don't even know. It could be an effigy. Could be just a multi-tool. A little perforator, you know, 3-pointed perforator, but then they got that, you know, little barbs. This one's busted off on this side, but that's sharpened down just like that. That ain't busted on that end. It's just flat. So maybe that was the base and it hafted in there or something like that, or maybe it's a effigy of a turtle or I don't know, beaver. I have no idea. But whatever it is, it's cool. I don't have a video of it. I wish. But I was digging under the cave that in that really good spot, and it was right underneath a rock. Just fell right out. So. But it's a good one. And then, I'm sure you saw this when I panned over it. My early Dalton. It's like a Sloan Dalton or earlier, I think is what he was telling me. I got it certified by Don Dixon at the Springfield, Missouri Artifact Show. He seems like a pretty knowledgeable guy. But yeah, that thing, it was really, really dark when I found it. It had a lot of creek moss and stuff on it. And over the years of handling it, I've ashamed to say that I've kind of wiped off a lot of that creek stain. Bad thing on my part, but it's still an awesome point. I mean, you could see that it was in the water for a long time. It's got a lot of, you know, sedimentary deposits on it. You know, calcium deposits and whatnot. And but that's a dandy there. My first Dalton. Dug this up in a pile of dirt in Arkansas, where they were making like a housing development area, and pushed a bunch of dirt piles up. That popped up in one of them dirt piles. Here's a nice table rock. That's beauty. But yeah, I've been hunting for quite a while now, and I've put together quite quite a collection over the years. Got the glare. There's some broken pieces in that one. There's broken pieces in all of them, really, but that's a lot of it anyway. Like I said, I got some others stashed away that I need to get another case for. I'm running out of room though. Got me a little studio apartment here. Not enough room for my arrowheads. I got an addiction. But anyway, zoom right over here, see some of the other stuff that I got. Usually I got a couple display cases sitting in there, so that's why you see the dust contrast. It's pretty dusty. But another little display over here. Piles of arrowheads laying everywhere. Got another 3 or 4 or 5 gallon buckets in my closet just filled with brokes and whatnot. There's my certificates of authenticity. And here's another display case. I forgot to pull that off. Pull that on out for you. Alright, there would have been a pretty good one. I found that in 2 pieces as well. Too bad I didn't find the 3rd piece of it though. This thing does not want to focus. Sorry guys. This is a long video. You guys probably won't make it to the end of it anyway. Anyway, that's about the gist of it. Just a bunch of buckets right there. Yep. Let's see, this is probably all bases. Yeah, that's all bases and tips. Just arrowheads everywhere. And soon to be more. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go here. If you watched to the end of it, thank you. Appreciate the views. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's my first and only grooved axe. It's kind of hard to see on the camera. Made out of like a really porous rock, you know, kind of brittle. And it was wedged in between 2 rocks, so on each side it's got a divot, like it was smashed in between those 2 rocks, and just sat there for years and years, however long. But anyway, I don't know, maybe they started pecking it, trying to put like a nutting stone divot in it, or I don't know why they do that, but who knows. There's a lot of things we don't know about what they did back in them days. Right there. I got this certified as well. Don Dixon says this is a Packard. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of a Packard or not before, but this is, according to Don Dixon, a Packard. It's got a ground base all the way up to here on both sides. And I would think it would be like an agate basin or an angostura or something, but I mean, if you look at that flaking, it's really, really old looking flaking. And it's got a heck of a patina on it, creek stained patina. And found it in a gravel bar on the creek. Don Dixon says that the Packards are older than the agate basins, though, so I don't know. Anyway, just another killer point. Alright, well, I'm going to let you go, guys. Hopefully I'll have some more videos to come in the future. I should. I'm always out hunting, so there's always something new that I bring home in my pockets. Hopefully it's a good one. Alright guys, y'all have a good one. Take it easy.